Hello there, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Goal Getters midday session. I am Coach Sheréa. Excited to be with you again today. I think this is our end of the second week, going live every day, helping you to reach your goals that you set for yourself. So, welcome. Let me check the chat real quick. All right, so today our topic is going to be setting legacy goals. So I am going to, and this is something bigger than just achieving our personal goals. And so if you outline your goals for the year, maybe you outlined your health goals, your finance goals, your relationship, your career, but have you considered how your goals will have an impact on others long after you're gone? So inside of your handbook, there is a session, set a goal to leave a legacy, and that is on pages 82 through 85. And I'm just going to read a couple of the quotes that's in your handbook. One is, if you would not be forgotten as soon as you are dead, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. And that is Benjamin Franklin. The second one, the great use of life is to spend it for something that will outlast it. All right. And then the last one, to know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived is to have succeeded. Actually, there was another one. I don't know where that one is. Oh man, I wish I had that one here. Okay, I have to find it and post it. But I think it was, here it is. If all your prayers were answered, would it change the world or just your world? And so that's what I want to encourage you to think about today is as you set goals for yourself, as you're reaching your goals for yourself, as you're setting your health and fitness, your money goals, how can you flip the script on those goals and have those as something that will impact the world? So I'm going to give you some examples today. And I talked a little bit about this in our goal-a-thon that we had in November. So what are legacy goals? A legacy goal is a goal that outlives you. It's a contribution, an impact, or creation that continues even after you're gone. And I was thinking about that. We are reading in one of my book clubs, we're reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. And one of the things we do every day is we read 10 pages a night as a group, and we pull out a book bar. And one of my bars from this was the very first half sentence, which says, as Dale Carnegie's daughter. And it doesn't seem like a bar, but what happened in this book is his daughter, because Dale Carnegie released a perennial seller, like a book that outlived him. I think this was written in 1936. And his daughter remixed it. She left him something. It was already great. The product was already great. The book was already great. But because he released this masterpiece, she was able to remix it into something updated for our generation. And so as you're writing your books and as you creating your products and as you have your business and as you're being successful, is it something that you could leave to your family? Is it something that your kids could remix? Is it something they could take over? Is it something they want to take over? You know, some of the movies we watched in the past where the dad had the family business or they had the liquor store, and then the family would stay upstairs and run the liquor store during the day and sleep at night. You know, your kids are like, I ain't doing that. You know, the kids today is like, I don't want to do that. That's not the life for me. But are we creating something we can leave behind? It's about creating something bigger than yourself. It's about making a lasting difference. It's about turning personal success into community impact. And so think about people whose legacies inspire us today, like Steve Jobs, his innovations, how it changed how we communicate. It changed how we do computers. It changed how we do phones. It really changed how we did phones. Martin Luther King, his dream continues to shape our history. Um, Walt Disney, his vision still brings joy to millions of people to this day. Michael Jackson, his music transcends generations. And so when you think about those guys, and I should have put some females on there. But you think about those guys and what they invented. Yeah, it was a business. Yeah, it was a way of life for them. Yeah, it was a way to bring income to their family. But they left something. They left something that their family and friends can remix. How to turn your personal goals into legacy goals. So let's look at some of the common goals that we have. So something simple like starting a business. So instead of just making a profit, how can so either you can be a nonprofit business, or as a for-profit business, how can you partner with nonprofits? So think about maybe doing an annual donation or an annual give-a-thon or annual something that partners your business with somebody else. People create funds, or they create, I forgot what you call them, I'll remember them. But even like Panera Bread, I don't know if you guys know, or if there's Panera Breads in other states. Panera Bread, they're not a nonprofit, but every single night, because my daughter's a manager there, every single night they have nonprofits come and take the leftover bread or the leftover pastries, and they give that out to the homeless, and they put that in their food banks. And so that's a way that they continue to give back to the community. What if your goal is to lose weight? Or what if you have a health goal? So as you're on your fitness journey, you can start a health challenge in your community. I know there's a Mayor Warren in Fontana. I think she wanted to lose weight at one point. She looked at a picture of herself as an event, and she says, okay, I need to do some walking. But what she did, she gathered the community to walk with her, and then she turned it into a whole community walking challenge. And so as you think about your health goals, how can you mentor others on their journey? How can you take others with you? I know back in the day, when my kids were younger, we used to walk in the backyard together every morning before school, and we had a word of the day. And so I would go to dictionary.com, and every time we would talk about that word of the day as we walked. So not only did that help us with our health goals, it helped us with bonding. It helped us with our personal development goals, because we were able to learn a new word. And so how can you, that's a whole other thing. How can you incorporate the goals you already have, where it's not an extra task for you, where it's something you just incorporate into your everyday life? All right, what else? So improving relationships. So say you're married and you want to improve your marriage, or you want to improve your relationship, start a couples group, or go to a couples group, start a couples group in your home. That way you're impacting not just your marriage, but the marriages around you. And then you build a support system for yourself. Let's see, reading. I read a lot. I try to read at least 4 books a month. I used to be a part of 7 book clubs. Now it's down to 4. But every book you read, maybe donate a book to somebody, or maybe your favorite book. If I have a favorite book, I usually keep a couple copies of that book. And when I run into somebody or I'm talking to somebody, I always have an extra copy to give to them. And so make that if you love to read and maybe you have a favorite book, get 10 of them. And as you mentor people or talk to people, or people come over, just say, hey, this is my favorite book. I want you to have it. What else? Running a fitness. So we talked about that. So running and fitness goals. So there's a lot of charity runs. There's a lot of cancer walks. There's a lot of running for water. I know I have a friend who does World Vision. And so you can join charity groups that raise money. So as you're running, you're building awareness for nonprofits. You're also keeping yourself healthy. All right. So I have some additional goal ideas. I'm going to check the chat real quick. All right. See if you guys have any questions so far. All right, no questions. So additional legacy goal ideas. So beyond personal development, here are some other ways to leave a legacy. Environmental projects like planting trees, starting a garden. I know I was a member of, well, now it's called Patria, but I was a member of Abundant Living Church, and my pastor at that time grew almond trees. all throughout the campus, he grew different trees, and his goal was when I'm gone, when I'm no longer here, and as the people walk throughout the campus, there will always be food here. And I believe, and I know I'm wrong with these numbers, I believe almond trees take 50 years or 30 years or something like that, but they take a lot of years. And he said, even I know as I build this tree, it's not going to even be, I'm not going to live to see it because it's going to be beyond me. And so, you can have environmental impacts. You can leave behind your collection of books. You know, I have so many books in my house. I have my favorite books. I have a book list. I also have this, I have the Brilliant Ideas book. This is really good for writing down your ideas because there's some ideas that you just may not be able to, um, you're not going to be able to do in your lifetime. I'm going to put up before I go through this next one, I'm going to put up the Ultimate Goals Handbook for those of you who do not have a copy. I'm also going to check the chat to see if there's any questions. All right. So there's your Ultimate Goals Handbook. So I keep my list of ideas in the Brilliant Ideas book. There's a space where there's like 100 ideas, and then if you have good ideas, you can flesh them out. Let me fix my camera. You can flesh them out a little bit more. So, and then if you happen to pass away, now you have your whole list of ideas that your family can take over or remix for you. Family tree, documenting your family's lineage, your stories, your traditions. I'm doing that right now, kind of doing my timeline. When I was born, when I was married, that type of thing. And that's an extensive project. I've been talking to you guys about that, working on our family cookbook. So that's been a legacy project that I want to leave. Also leaving a project to my granddaughter, writing out just some important parts of my life, her grandfather, her grandmother, things like that. Artists, making sure you're creating that music you have in your head, or maybe sometimes that music that you have written but it's not out there, just go ahead and put it on tape. Your books, my books are going to be here long after I'm gone, so write something worth reading. Let's see, educational foundations, you can start a scholarship fund. A lot of some clubs and women groups and women organizations, they create scholarship funds for kids or the youth. Those things are lasting, those things are impacting, those things help our youth. Sorry about my camera. Let me fix that. I think when I move so much, it readjusts. All right. So yeah, that's all I have for you. That quote again is, if you would not be forgotten as soon as you are dead, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. And so let's make sure our lives tell a story worth remembering, and leaving a legacy for our children and our children's children. And so your legacy starts with the goals you set today, and then remixing those goals into something that could benefit the world, your community. All right. I don't think there are any comments. Let me check Instagram. Thank you guys on Instagram for joining me this morning. I hope that this has added value to you. I hope that it's something that you start to think about, thinking about your legacy, thinking about things that you leave behind. Think about how you want to be remembered, after you're gone, and think about those projects that will outlive you. All right. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining me today. I hope you have an awesome Friday, and I will see you guys on